input on the city's budget. And so resident feedback and engagement play a vital role in determining our budget priorities. So as you came in and you signed in, there was cards with a QR code on it. Please feel free to scan that QR code and take the survey to give us your information. And then you can also visit our webpage, which is on the handouts, financialtransparency.dallas.gov, for further detailed information about our current budget and then also our budget development process. We also have a Spanish translator here tonight, and if you have a need for translation services, he will help you. Please see him, and he will get you set up. And so now I'll turn it over to Mayor Pro Tem Atkins for a few remarks, and then we will go into our video for the night.
Okay. Again, thank you for coming in tonight. And I just want to make sure everything's clear. There is a handout. My staff part is Priscilla. Will you hand this out, please? And this handout is not my handout. And we do have a bond package coming up, election coming up. And by the city attorney, I cannot promote, I cannot talk about it. So, but I still can give you information, and you go to the website, and this nothing had to do with the budget tonight. Don't have nothing to do with the budget tonight, nothing with the budget. So anything you want to find out about the bond package, here's a handout, and there's a course you need to do. It's set on the course when it get done, so I'm trying to make sure you're aware of that. Second thing is that this budget is very important because this is the first swipe at the budget right now. And we talk about a budget, this is your taxpayer money. This is your money that you spend, and this is what you get for your dollar that you spend. And also the budget kind of divided into a general fund, enterprise fund, all that. So really what's really gonna impact you is the general fund, the enterprise fund, that's your sanitation product, your trash get picked up, there's a fee for that. But also your general fund, we're looking at the sidewalks, repairs and stuff like that, that's part of your general fund. So please pay attention to this budget, because this budget right now, you're gonna look at the public safety, because public safety is a big number in this budget. You know, if you look at all your property tax, which is probably about 18% of your sales tax, that's what pays for public safety. So that's a big number. Then whatever left over will pay for everything, your library, your rec centers and stuff like that. So look at the video. Be sure to ask questions. If there is no wrong question to ask, but this is your taxpayer money, and this is your opportunity to say what can you get, what you cannot get. You might say, oh, I might want to build something. They say, oh, you can't build that in this budget. It's just a budget just you do the everyday work that you'll see. So please, we need you to engage. Okay? Thank you.
So we'll watch the video, and then after the video, we'll have all of city staff introduce themselves so that everybody knows who's in the room, and then we'll get into questions.
Hello. Thank you for joining your City Council member and staff at this community listening session regarding the City of Dallas operating budget. It is an honor to be with you today and to provide this short presentation, which gives an overview of the city's planned budget and outlines the next steps for developing the next fiscal year's biennial budget. After the presentation, you will have the opportunity to ask questions and provide your input to your City Council member. We value community engagement, and this is the first of several opportunities for you to be engaged in the city's budget development process for the upcoming fiscal year. Today, we are here to listen to you. In August of each year, the city manager proposes a balanced biennial budget to the City Council. After careful consideration and an amendment process, the City Council adopts the first year of the biennial budget. The second year is a balanced planned budget that demonstrates how our budget can be sustained in the subsequent year. We use the second year of the biennial as a starting point for development of the next year's budget. We have already begun updating revenue forecasts and working with various city departments to update their budget requests as we prepare the city manager's budget recommendation to present to City Council on August 13th for the fiscal year that will begin on October 1st. Funding for the city's budget comes from many different revenue sources. General fund revenues come from property taxes, sales tax, franchise fees, charges for services, fines, and other sources. Enterprise funds operate as a business, and their revenue comes from charging their customers for the services they provide, such as water and sanitation. Debt service revenue also comes from property tax, which is where we pay for our general obligation bonds. Additional resources typically are grant, trust, and other restricted revenue sources that we receive to supplement our operating budget. The budget shown on this slide is a balanced plan that serves as a starting point for fiscal year 24-25 budget. These amounts will be revised as we update both our revenue and expense forecasts. At this point, the planned budget totals $4.55 billion. Our budget is split into two parts. First, our operating budget, which pays for the day-to-day operating and maintenance costs of the city. And second, the capital budget, which is where we fund bond programs and other infrastructure types of projects. Below both the operating and capital sections, you will notice different funding sources that make up the overall budget. The general fund budget, which gets the most attention, is represented in the orange box. The general fund makes up almost half of the operating budget and totals $1.91 billion, funding police, fire, code compliance, parks, libraries, and more. Remember, this is our starting point, and these numbers will change as we make updates over the next several months. The revenue that we receive from all sources is allocated to address the many needs throughout the city and align to the strategic priorities determined by the City Council. The 8 strategic priorities of the City Council include economic development, government performance and financial management, housing and homelessness solutions, parks, trails, and the environment, public safety, quality of life, arts and culture, transportation and infrastructure, and workforce, education, and equity. This chart reflects the fiscal year 24-25 planned budget, including all operating and capital funds and additional resources by strategic priority area. Our largest investment for all operating and capital funds is in the transportation and infrastructure strategic priority at 32%. This is composed primarily of our enterprise funds and our investments in capital projects. As I mentioned, the portion of the budget that gets the most attention is the city's general fund. Revenue for the general fund budget comes from many different sources. Most of the services the city provides, such as police, fire, library, parks, streets, code compliance, and more, are funded in the general fund. Property tax is our largest source of revenue and accounts for 58% of general fund revenue. 3 factors affect property taxes: the values set by your appraisal district, exemptions allowed by state law and approved by City Council, and the tax rate approved by the City Council. As a reminder, the City Council has lowered the property tax rate for 8 consecutive years to the current rate of 73.57 cents. It is important to remember that the City of Dallas only receives about 32% of the property taxes that you pay. The rest goes to the schools, county, and other taxing entities. Our second largest source of revenue for the general fund is sales tax, which in Dallas is 8.25%, including the 6.25% that goes to the state, 1% that goes to DART, and 1% that is retained by the city. Similar to the general fund revenue chart on the previous slide, which showed where the general fund revenue comes from, this chart shows how we allocate the general fund revenue for each of the 8 strategic priority areas. Our largest investment in the general fund is in public safety, where we allocate 62% of our general fund dollars. This pays for police, fire, courts, jail, and other public safety initiatives. It is important to be mindful of where the money comes from and where we make our investments. This chart shows the relationship between the general fund expenditures and revenues for the upcoming fiscal year. The inner circle is a pie chart of general fund revenue sources. The outer circle shows general fund budget expenditures by strategic priority. As you can see, public safety requires 100% of our property tax and 18% of the revenues from sales tax. What is detailed in this graph is that public safety is our highest priority and the one in which we invest most of our general fund revenue. From a dollar standpoint, Dallas's general fund budget is focused on public safety first. If you would like to see more information on our current annual budget investments, please take a look at our budget and brief document provided to you here, or visit dallas.gov, where the current year's budget is available on our financial transparency page. Now that you have seen an overview of the budget and the strategic priorities, here is what is next in the budget development process. The input you provide in these listening sessions is important to the budget development process as we update the planned budget for fiscal year 24-25. On March 27th and May 22nd, we have scheduled public hearings on the budget. On March 30th, we are hosting City Hall at Fair Park. This is a family-friendly event designed to showcase department services and resources, and this event will include a budget town hall meeting. On August 13th, we will present the city manager's recommended budget to City Council. After the city manager's recommendation from August the 15th to August the 29th, your city council member will host additional budget town hall meetings. On August the 28th, we will hold another public hearing on the budget prior to the adoption process in September. For additional budget resources, we encourage you to visit dallas.gov, where we provide all the budget development information, including a series of Budget 101 videos that provide a breakdown of the city's budget. Continue to engage with us by attending budget town hall meetings, taking the budget priority survey available online or in person at select library branches and recreation facilities, or join us on March 30th for City Hall at Fair Park. For more information on engagement opportunities, please visit our website. Please share your questions and input with your city council member today as part of this listening session. You're always welcome to email us at financialtransparency@dallas.gov if you have further questions or comments.
Okay, so we are gonna talk about the city budget, right? We're gonna talk about what? City budget, right. So with that, we got different departments here that after the meeting or during the meeting, they can discuss what kind of question and have to address or answer. So I want to introduce everyone to you. So let's start with DPD over here. So tell you who you are.
How's everyone doing tonight?
Right.
Deputy Chief Mark Villarreal. I'm over the South Patrol Group, which encompasses the Southwest Patrol Division and the South Central Patrol Division. Pleasure to be here.
I'm Chief Richard Foy. I'm over our narcotics and gang unit.
I'm Lauren Wilson with Animal Services.
I'm Senator Lopez. I'm with the Street Department. John Small, Director of Housing. Stephen Walker, I'm with 311.
David Ramirez, Public Lands. Good evening, I'm Cliff Gillespie, I'm the Director of the Department of Sanitation.
Hi everyone, Kate Miller, Department of Transportation.
Sunita Rivera, Executive Assistant Chief Dallas Fire Rescue.
Larry Dyson, Office of Home Solutions.
Jermaine Nation, Assistant Manager for Community Court.
Lisa Rand, Office of Homeless Solutions.
Danita Mullins, District 8 Council Assistant.
AC Fly, representing the Office of Environmental Quality and Sustainability.
Jeanette Whedon, I'm here serving as the pleasure of the Director of Budget and Management Services. So let me know if you have any questions about the budget.
Who are you? You introduce yourself?
Again, Genesis Gavino, Chief of Staff to the City Manager.
Benjamin Smart, also with budget.
Do we get someone I know?
Taylor Richardson, Public Works.
Okay. Do we get someone else? Okay, let's open it up for questions. Don't get scared. Who's the first one?
I will.
Yeah.
What percent of increase is the budget from the last time?
Oh, boy. Jeanette can answer that
So
question.
actually, the current budget is 4.6 billion and the proposed budget is 4.55, so it decreased slightly. The general fund portion increased from 1.8 billion to 1.91 billion, and the majority of that increase is in public safety. So as you know, the city council and the city manager's office, they're committed to funding public safety. And so each year we've been allocating funding to ensure that we hire 250 officers each year. We have also been allocating funding to make sure that we fund their meet and confer agreement. That agreement dictates that we will make market rate adjustments for police and fire personnel. And so we are committed to doing that, and that's the majority of the increase in the budget.
Someone else? Come on, don't be shy. I know y'all call my office and got a problem. Come on. Sidewalks, street sanitation, trash, yes.
Yeah, the budget goes up every year. So how do we run out of money when we get ready to start doing the different projects?
Okay, the budget go up every year and how we run out of money. Okay.
Even when we get ready to do the projects.
Cost of goods go up every year. You know, concrete, construction costs, that's go up. You know, right now, you look at traffic light, it went up almost 30%. So you look at a traffic light was $1 million, now it might cost $1.3 million. You know, your sidewalk, labor is going up. So the market is going up because more people move in the city of Dallas, and we got that type of market. The price of goods is going up, and so that go spill out to the resident, and we got to figure out how do we do that, because number one is that taxes kind of pay for it, sales tax coming in, property value coming in, but we also give the senior homestead exemption, which we deduct that to get to the senior to kind of offset some of the taxes. So it's always gonna go up. Your budget always gonna go up. You know, police and fire. You know, uniforms gonna go up. You know, employees, payroll service gonna go up. Retirement, it's gonna go up. You know, you're not gonna have a budget gonna stay at the same level each year. And people retire. You know, they want more money in retirement. You know, the employees. You know, you work for 5 years, you want to raise, you keep going up. When people move in, so that's why we always say we want more people move in the city down, so we get a property tax. We want to get development to keep the budget down.
Well, I can understand that. That's fine and dandy. But when you start on like this project, you got right there, Polk and Wheeler. Okay, that cement right there and all that. Okay, we've been calling and doing, they finally doing something about it. Okay, this park that you're doing on the other side of Carter over there. They started, then now they stopped, then they started back. Sanitation department, you know, when you drive with the alleys and everything, but they start on it, then they pull off of it. I mean, why you can't just go and finish it and then be done with it?
Well, because some contract start on a project and quit. Some contracts start on a project and can't afford to finish the project. Then we gotta get someone else. So that's business. And so we got someone in sanitation here want to talk about sanitation.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question related to sanitation.
Well, yeah, you got some projects going down the alleys and some of the other things. But when they start on them, and they'll start and then they'll stop. And then when they start back, then they'll put it off for 4 or 5 months, then come back and do it again.
Let me public works. Who public works here? Somebody from public works? You got to say a question.
I'm not really sure what address that is, but we can get the address and let you know. And sometimes there are like drainage issues, and we have conflicts with Dallas Water Utility putting in drains before we can put in the street. So there's a lot of collaboration. So one project may have to stop so the other one can continue. So.
Right. And number one, when you have a problem like that, I always call 311 because we data driven. So you don't call 311, they don't get back with you, call my office, we make sure you get an answer.
Well, we do. We call 311. They every time I call them and they, oh yeah, your name is up here again.
Okay, we got somebody on 311. Who's 311? Guy in the back now. This guy right here, I'm tell you one thing. This is the hardest working guy in the city of Dallas, 311. And I would vouch for him. If you call him, call his number, he try his best to do what he's supposed to do. And he don't pass a buck, he finishes a buck. So if that's your 311 guy. Yeah, get his card.
It's your new friend.
That's your friend. I'll go with her, don't come back to you. Ms. Gibson.
Hi, Diane Gibson, a District 8 resident. But now that it's getting summer months and I see a lot of our seniors in here, can we have community court explain to them about they do the lawn services and get those defendants in lieu of finding court calls to come out and do lawn services to our seniors at no cost to them?
Okay. We got someone here for Kuka. You want to explain how we do that and what the process? And that's something is in our budget. You know, that's a budget item that your taxpayers do. You don't come back and explain that. Take front row soon. And matter of fact, he do work out of my community office at 3624 Simpson Stewart. So you don't have to go downtown and talk to him. He is in the district.
All right. My name is Jermaine Nation. I am the assistant manager for the community courts. At community court, we assist individuals that have Class C misdemeanors with the city of Dallas. We assist them through community service as well as social services. So anytime a defendant comes into our court and pleads guilty or no contest, they're given X amount of hours of community service. And like Councilmember Atkins was saying, one of the biggest things that we do for community service is we provide free lawn maintenance for people that are elderly disabled, free of charge. And so what happens is that you will just get in touch with the community court in your area. We have a community court in South Oak Cliff, South Dallas, West Dallas, Northeast, and a downtown night court. So you just get in touch with the community service coordinator for that court. They'll come out and do a lawn assessment to make sure that it's something that we can do, and then we'll put you on a schedule. We'll come out and get it done. The individuals that come to our court and plead in to our court are the individuals that come out to do that lawn work, and so they're always supervised. They'll have nice community court vests on and everything like that, always supervised, and we just make sure that that we're out there to help as much as possible. Yes, ma'am.
Does that include tree trimming?
It does, but we'll have to do an assessment because I don't want to say that we can actually do it if we don't have that equipment. So we'll do an assessment at least, and then be able to tell you whether or not we'll be able to do it.
Okay, so I understand that your division, if you will, is perhaps a separate from the city, but if it's not something that those guys are able to do, is it, are you able to go through the city who does those, cut the trees in half or send away from the power pole? Can they be utilized in order to do that? Because some of those trees that have been cut are not only unsightly, but they are also running wild, blowing wild, and covering lights and so street lights. And so I was just curious if that is something that is included and is a part of what you're speaking of.
But with that also, anything to do with power line, that's Encore will come out and make sure to clear that. We don't want resident, we just said that won't do it because the liability one is there, so therefore we take care of it. And
Mr. Nation, make sure you tell them about the Veterans Assistance Program and the drug court program that you can have to help people at no charge to them that may be dealing with drugs.
Right, like Ms. Gibson said, we do have two specialty courts. We have a drug court that is geared towards individuals that have mental health issues as well as co-occurring issues with drugs, alcohol. We also have a veterans court that is geared towards veterans who may be also having the same issues. So the great thing about our courts, our specialty courts and our community courts is that once they come in and plead into our courts and they're finished with all their recommendations, whether it's a specialty court or a community court, then those tickets are dismissed. So, literally they can come in with, 10, 15 tickets. As long as they're through the city of Dallas, they come in, do their community service, any classes, any other recommendations, then those tickets are dismissed so that they can go in and get jobs and go on with their lives as a protected citizen.
And one thing with that,
You want me to up there? Sure.
and the one thing, then that's your taxpayer money. You said the price score, that's your taxpayer money, and that is part of the general fund. Yes, next question. Yes, sir.
My question is about Sharp working on that alley. I know it's been a while, but my thing is, whenever you let somebody take the bid, do y'all check them out and see if their reputation is good before you give them the bid to do it? Otherwise, 'cause some of you guys just gonna try to get you a lower bid in order to get the thing, and that don't do us any good.
Okay, do you guys have procurement here? Okay, the process is number one, everyone who work for the city of Dallas, it's an RFP go out, you know, it's a 3 bids process go out there. But also it's a bonding issue, so if they can't do the job, the bonding will pay for that. So therefore, we do screen everyone who do the job. Now, in some cases we do hire a contract, for some reason they can't finish the job, they bond gotta pay, we gotta hire someone else. And that's the deal when someone can't finish the job.
One of those that I'm quick to think about logging in, but if you open our app, it'll work for you. But if you log in, you'll get a lot better correspondence. There's always little technical issues in the system, but if you're logged in, you're going to get all the correspondence from the department. You'll see everything like you're supposed to because it's going to work through email versus text. The text issues.
Yeah, and one thing, that's part of the budget. So more you use 311, the better the budget, better more manpower you get, more service you will get because you're using that service.
And we're 24/7. We don't close. So even if it's Christmas Day, there's somebody there to answer the phone. I recommend, most people think we're 8 to 5, and so that's the worst time to call. You're going to be on hold. If you call after 5, you'll probably get through in a very, very short time of holding. So, and even I've said this since our inception in 1997. We embrace what 311 is, of just call us. We're the number to talk to the city. And so we want you to call, and you may have questions like, what can be done about the sidewalk out front? We have a sidewalk replacement program. So there are a lot of things that are obscure that you wouldn't necessarily think about. And a lot of people don't realize if we damage your trash can, you can report, hey, the wheels aren't working on my trash can, the lid. So if you've got a question, you want to talk to us, give us a call. We're there 24 hours a day. And if anybody wants my card, I'm happy to give it to you. And if you want us to come talk at your homeowner meetings and that kind of thing, we're happy to do that as well.
Thank you.
And that is your taxpayer money, and that's part of the budget. You know, it's a small part of the budget, but that's why we need 311, because those are your communication, your eyes and ears to talk to us, to let you know by data driven, this is what we need in our community. Anyone else? That's so nice tonight. Why? Good Friday tomorrow? That's what it is, Good Friday?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
As a senior, a lot of times family members pass and the property is in a group situation, but there's somebody responsible in the family that wants to manage that. What city resources are available for something like that?
Hey, there's still, I don't see someone here. We got someone here, right?
From housing.
From housing. You got, right behind you. You don't come here and tell them because that's a big deal with probate court. You know, you're trying to get a loan, a house loan, a repair. They say you don't live there, you can't get that done. We got 5 family members, everybody fighting over the property. That's something we do. But also, I want to say, in the county, you know, they help also, and also Judge Nash, who live in district. There's a whole lot of free service that will help you to navigate, navigate you through this system.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. To answer your question, John Small, interim assistant director with housing. It's very individualized. However, we would need to speak. The paperwork would have to be concise. Who's ever taken over that particular property? You will work with housing. You would also work with the city attorney's office to make sure those records are clean and that individual is able to manage that property. But you would work with housing and the city attorney's office with us through housing. So if that's a situation that you have, we can talk after the meeting. I'll give you my card, information, and we'll assist you.
Okay, thank you.
Someone from sanitation?
Sanitation, you got a question? Yeah, for sanitation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so,
What it just makes it easier for us to just come up here.
don't be late.
It cooks.
Get your steps in, get your steps in.
Yeah, come on up to the front.
Get your steps in. You'll be all right, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
So, what I've noticed here lately as far as the trash pickup, they're in a hurry, it seems.
And, you know, I understand it's early morning, whatever. But what I've noticed, and I'm taking pictures of, particularly in our neighborhood, that after the trash comes down, there's more trash comes around. You know, if they drop something, they don't pick it up. And so the wind, of course, blows it up and down the alley and makes it even more of a mess. So I'd like to know how you handle a situation like that.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for the question. I apologize about my experience and anybody else's experience. To some degree, unfortunately, when dealing with solid waste, some of it's going to stay. You know, we try 100%, but there is a human element to it as well. And for those of you that maybe don't know, with garbage, it's required to be bagged or containerized somehow. But with recycling, we specifically ask you not to bag it.
Right.
So that can lead to creating litter when there's wind or it's not handled properly. You know, the other challenge that we deal with is in a lot of areas, particularly in areas we're serving with alleys, we have those rear load trucks with the 2 helpers on the back, and that's provided through a temporary contract labor service. That's it's due to the nature of the work. It's constantly a revolving, door of people, so we're constantly challenged and reminding those folks, how to properly handle the materials, pick up when it, when it's falling, on the ground. What I would say is, I hear you, and I'll take that back, and we'll constantly remind those folks and the supervisors and the contract company that we work with for those people. Just know it's a constant battle.
And to piggyback on what she's saying, can we get them to put it back on the curb? They put ours all in the street, and we're not in the alley. We're on the street. When we have ours on the curb, but then when they do it, they leave them in the street, leave them in your driveway.
I know
That's where you got it from.
It irritates people more than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
They're required. They may not put it exactly back where they got it, but as long as they're putting it up against the curb and not blocking your driveway or not in the middle of the streets, that's what we ask.
Well, that's where they put out.
Now, let me put a plug in. I'm all for doing everything we can to keep that rate under control. And the biggest thing we can do is eliminate some of that human factor and move to more automated collection when we can. The truck that picks up the cart, puts it back down, has its problems too, but overall it's a lot more reliable, and that's what we're constantly looking to do more of there.
And to speak on technology right now, that they're putting cameras on the trucks right now. So therefore, when they do pick that trash can up, they know what trash can they picked up and where about. It's not say, oh, you didn't get my trash can. They got a camera with an address doing that. But also, you need to call 311 if you do have that trash on your street. They will call a supervisor, and the supervisor will drive down in the meter to get that done. And so when you do report, they tell your neighbors, it is just, oh, if you didn't pick up my trash, but you didn't pick everybody else's trash. They don't know that. You got to get an address. They got to do that. So therefore, it's data driven. But if you don't follow those rules and process, you're still going to have the same situation. But I can say, we got one lady in Pleasant Grove. She's a trash woman. She got to clean the street. Because number one, it's an oil fall on the street from the truck, or some paper fall out. They go out and pick it up and clean it up, because that's all she do. But if you don't utilize it and call and report it, you still might have the same problem over and over because you didn't call in. So if it ain't put your trash can back where it's supposed to put it at, you ain't saying nothing, you ain't calling.
No, we did. We called you.
I know, but if it's still, but if it's still occurring, the problem is not resolved. So we don't want to occur again. So when you come in next time, you say, you know what? It don't occur on my street no more. It might be on someone else's street, but on my street, it's not occurring. And the other thing is that in the alleys, and one thing you got to be very, very careful about the alleys right now. I don't want to go. They said everybody got to pick up my trash in my front yard, in the front. And most people got alleys. They want to keep their trash picked up in the alleys. And so therefore, in the front, as you know, I don't know, it's parking somebody's trash, because most people who park their cars in the front and you don't get your trash picked up because you said, that's not my car, it's my neighbor's car, it's blocking my trash can. Right. So there was a survey, in-house survey went around about, are you going to start picking up the trash in the front instead of the back? And so if your alley needs repair, report that, so therefore the trash doesn't go down your alley to pick up your trash. And the brush, and also in sanitation, we gotta make sure that your alley gotta be trimmed with brush so the trucks can go down there to pick it up. Report that, because again, this is a budget. If you don't report it, you don't get it done, then you're gonna have problems, because I could not get my trash picked up because of the wires, or because of the debris, or whatever. Or my driveway is not fixed. Yes, ma'am.
I have two neighbors, one in the back and one on the side. In the back, their trash cans are always overfilled, and they put their trash in our trash can. The neighbor on the side, when it's time for you to pick up the trash, the dumping that everybody does, they put their dumping in front of my house. And so I want to be a good neighbor. But
You want to be a good neighbor. Okay. So.
Well, let me talk to you after specifically about your situation.
Okay.
But I will say in general, that's another great example to call 311. Particularly if a neighbor is putting their brush or bulky items in your yard or in front of your house,
yes,
you could be on the hook for a ticket because it's your property and you're ultimately going to be responsible for it. But if you call 311 first, at least there's something on record that you didn't do this and you reported it. And it just helps you later, but I'll talk to you right after.
Yes, sir.
Same kind of conditions you had. How much is an extra trash can? Because my neighbors have relatives move in, relatives move out. They fill up 2-3 trash cans in bags. So
an extra garbage cart per month is $13 and change. It may round up to about $14. We will provide a second recycle cart at no cost. A third recycle cart or more, I think there's a one-time delivery or hand delivery and handling fee. But again, second recycle carts, no cost. Each additional garbage cart is about $14 a month.
And that's not your general fund, that's sanitation fund, because that's cost recovery. So whatever they track, whatever costs them to do it, that's what they got to charge. Okay. Great. Anything else?
Excellent meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, well, I got to get DPD.
That we're doing just fine.
He said this
I'd like to talk to him
Okay.
on the hot seat.
Come out here. Well, come to the house seat. You know.
It would be nice, Council.
They're doing a great job. I mean, one thing like I said, the NPO officers that we don't talk about a whole lot, that's your private security guard. If you use them and call them, and then which it is a private security guard, because they walk your street when you leave.
But we don't see them on our street anymore.
But you got gated community. Sometimes lock
the other NPO officers can't.
I'm just teasing.
Oh no, you good. But our other NPO officers, we knew them by name. They came in the neighborhood. I have no idea who.
But they haven't been changing over. Promotion going up. We lost 2 or 3, and they got promotion. And we get some promotion, you got to retrain someone there.
Let us see them sometime in the neighborhood.
We definitely will. One thing Chief Dawson said, they promised that when we get NPR, we're going to try to keep them in the neighborhood so they get to know the neighborhood.
Yes.
So with that, and then that's the key. And you need to do that. We got South Central right here. We in South Central here. Mm-hmm. This is our Southwest, but South Central. But we still got the rock to come and help our neighborhood.
We met a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. All he wanted to talk about was NPOs. That was his number one priority.
With Chief Garcia and everybody.
And we just want to know who they are. Right now, we think Lori Blair is our NPO officer. Yeah,
I'll get you there. I'll get you there. I'll get you the sergeant's name.
Now, the one thing I tell you, y'all can do. During the holidays coming up, I know 4th of July coming up, all different holidays coming up. We definitely need to know who your NPO officer is. And also, and I tell you one bad example that I keep saying, don't be scared of people in the blue. Don't be scared of people in the blue in the neighborhood. And I'm telling you what happened. When we do a walking neighborhood, when I say I want to walk the neighborhood, go knock on the door of the neighborhood, the first thing I said, it's a raid coming in. Because you see all the people in blue walking down the neighborhood and people.
Well, you don't.
But you should not be that way. And so what we generally do, we generally put flyers out up front. So we're going to walk in the neighborhood to get to know the officer. So therefore, you're comfortable with it. And some people are not comfortable with the police officer. They're not comfortable. We want you to be comfortable with the police officer. And then you can have a block walk. You invite them. They will go walk. We got the horse, the mounted police. They will walk. The motorcycles and the horse sitter. They will drive through your neighborhood. And also, if you're going out of the town or you're gonna be gone, call your police and say, "I'll be out of town. Drive by my house." They would drive by. They would do all that service to do that. But we need your help to help them to make sure your neighborhood is safe.
We need to know who they are.
We all gonna know who we are.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I say, okay.
Come on, 311. You get back on.
Come on first. They're gonna pull you up first. Come on up first.
That's another one a lot of people don't know.
Thank you.
You can call 311 and request extra police patrol. The reason you're not calling 911, that's not an emergency. We don't need to tie up. We're not dispatching an officer. What we're doing is we're putting in a request and it's going to the sergeants at the MPO desk, and they're sending their MPOs out for that extra patrol.
Well, I'm telling you now, we just need to see you all again. We don't see nobody in our neighborhood.
I will relay the message. I will get you the sergeant's phone number.
Okay, I got a fire department. Got a fire department guy jump in and put out the fire.
Yeah, I thought I'd come up and take the heat on this. Thank you, Mr. Atkins. But Mr. Atkins mentioned about the 4th of July, right?
Yes.
We always have issues with fireworks. Fireworks. And everyone thinks, okay, it's just police. And we ride out with police all the time, but actually, it's the fire inspectors that write the code, the citations, because it's against the fire code. It is illegal in the city of Dallas, so we are paired up with DPD during the holidays to confiscate those fireworks. So it's not just police and they're not showing up. They're needing or wanting us to come along with them. So I know you may feel like, oh, that's another number we have to call, another number we have to call. Something different we're doing is making sure we walk the neighborhoods, get into the neighborhoods, give you all the flyers, pamphlets, and notifications so you can call us and not always calling police and think that it's police not doing it. They are responding, but they also responded in addition with us.
So we can call you?
Yeah.
We can call you fire department?
Yes, sir, you can. And we have a...
Reason why I said that, last year, we called my neighbors, we called the police department 5 times, they never did show up.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, the next time around, we called them, but they came after, it was 4 hours after, and the people doing the firecrackers there.
Yeah.
So we could call the fire department.
Yes, sir, you can.
All
And doing the...
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. And it is hard because you call in DPD, and if you think about the 4th of July, all of the activities that's going on,